Hi guys, this is Miss Campbell, and today we're going to be working on the Unit 3 assessment. This is really covering what we've been talking about the last several days in Module 14. So what I'd like to do is to do the first couple of questions together, and then I want you to work the rest of the assessment by yourself, and then we'll kind of check over spots of it. For homework though, you're going to take a picture of all four of these pages, and some of it we would not have checked, and some of it we would have. So make sure you take a picture of all four pages and attach it to your assignment when we're done. So let's look at the first part. Up at the top it says, and blank is a part of a number sentence that has numbers and operation signs but does not have an equal sign. Okay, so think back about what we learned a couple of days ago. Which one of those words does that fit? Is that an expression, a pattern, or a rule? The part of a number sentence that has numbers and operation signs but not an equal sign. Well, that would be a what? An expression. Expression is the part of the problem without the equal sign. A pattern is something that you repeat over and over again. A rule is the pattern that the table follows. Okay, so let's look over here on number 2. It says a blank is an ordered set of numbers or objects in which the order helps you predict what comes next. Okay, so would that be a pattern or a rule? You're having to predict on it. Okay, my way to figure this one out is a rule you don't have to predict. A rule is a rule. That's the way it is. A pattern, you're trying to sit here and figure out what is the pattern to something. So you do have to predict a little bit on that one. So it would be a pattern is an ordered set of numbers or objects in which help you predict what comes next. Okay, so what I want you to do, look at the rest of this page. You got to find out what the numbers are in the rule. Plug it in. You got to find out what the missing number is in the problem. You have a table. You got to figure out what the rule of the table is. You have some word problems where some of them are multi-step and some of them are just one step at a time. You got some that are addition problems, some that are subtraction problems, some that are both. So just kind of go through this, and then we're going to spot check questions at the end. So please pause the video and do these 4 pages real quick. It shouldn't take you too long. And then when you finish it, we're going to spot check them, but I want you to solve all of the problems on all 4 pages and take a picture of all 4 pages to post for your assignment for today. So please pause the video and get your work finished, and then turn me back on. Okay, we're going to look at like 1 or 2 questions in each group here. Okay, so let's look at number 3. You have 5, 45, 40, 35, 30. Okay, is that going up or down? It's going from a bigger number to a smaller number, right? So you're going to not be adding on this one, okay? Because you always read it from left to right. So you see they're going to be subtract or divide. So how do you get from 50 to 45? You minus 5. 45 to 40, minus 5. I'm predicting that the pattern is going to be minus 5. Let's look at it. 40 minus 5, is that 35? Yep. 35 minus 30, is that minus 5? And 30 minus 5 is what? 25. So the rule is subtract 5. Okay, and you should already have done number 4. And so when you take a picture, you can show your teacher you did that work. Okay, number 5 says m times 5 equals 30. So what number is represented by m? Well, count by 5s up to 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 6 times 5 equals 30. So 6 would take the place of the m. So you should have done that on all of those questions. Okay, number 11. Okay, now we're going to look at the pattern for the table. It's counting by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just going up in order, counting by ones. Now look at the bottom. 7, 14, 21. What do you notice about the pattern here? Each time it's going up by what? 7 plus 7. Okay, so what's 21 plus 7? 28. What's 28 plus 7? 35. Okay, so what is the rule of the table? Or what is the way that we can show, what are the ways that we could show this? You could add 7 for each week, right? Because here's the weeks up here. You add 7 each time that you add another week, you add 7. Or you can multiply. You could go from the top to the bottom. Multiply the weeks times 7. Multiply the number of weeks times 7 to get the number of days. Okay, and you should have already done number 12. Okay, and I'll do 13 and 15 on this page real quick. Okay, so on number 13 it says Sally has 4 comic books, Ronaldo has 6 comic books, Jay has 2 times as many comic books as Sally and Ronaldo combined. Which expression, so we just have to figure out what problem here, represents the number of comic books that Jay has compared to Sally and Ronaldo combined? So what do we have to do first? Do you see how it said it twice here? Sally and Ronaldo combined. Sally and Ronaldo combined. So what do we need to do with the number of Sallys and the number of Ronaldos? We need to combine them, which means we have to add them together. So Sally has 4, Ronaldo has 6. We're going to add those. So together, this is Sally and Ronaldo. I'm just going to do R for Ronaldo. Okay. Now Jay has 2 times as many comic books as they have. So how are you going to figure that out? What problem is that going to be? Well, follow it. 2 times, right? 2 times the amount that they have together. 2 times 10. That should be your problem, which is choice C. Okay, and I'm going to do number 15 with you. It says there are 24 students in Mrs. Smith's class and 30 students in Miss Becker's class. The students sit in chairs in the gymnasium in rows with 6 chairs in each row. How many rows of chairs are there in all? So all those kids have to go sit in the gym in rows of 6 with 6 chairs. How many rows of chairs are there? So first thing you have to do is figure out how many students there are, right? There's 24 in Mrs. Smith's class, and there's 30 in Miss Becker's class, so you got to add those up. 4 plus 0 is 4, 2 plus 3 is 5. So there's 54 students total, right? Now, there's 6 chairs in each row. How many rows are there? So if there's 54 students, and they're sitting in rows of 6, you're going to divide that by 6 to figure out how many rows there are. So if you know what your multiplication facts are, 6 times what equals 54? 6 times 9 is 54. So they would have 9 rows in their gymnasium in all. Okay, so you should have done 14 and 16 on your own. Let's go on over here. We're going to do 17 and 19 on this page. It says Susie's Sweater Shop sells sweaters online. The table shows the number of sweaters sold in 3 months. How many more sweaters? How many more? That means somewhere you're going to subtract. How many more sweaters were sold in January than in March? Okay, so January is 402. March was 171. How many more were sold in January than in March? And how many more tells you you're going to subtract those numbers. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 0 minus 7, you can't do it. You got to borrow. That 4 becomes a 3. The 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 231. There it is. Okay, number 19 is down here, and we're still using the chart up here at the top. It says how many more, so somewhere we're going to do what? We're going to subtract. How many more sweaters were sold in February and March than in January? When it says it like this, February and March, you're going to add February and March together. So 298 is February. March is 171. So we're going to find out how many sweaters were sold in February and March. So 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 469 sweaters were sold in February and March. Okay. Now it says how many more sweaters were sold here than in January. Okay, January, how many were sold? 402. So there's 469. And how many more tells us we're going to subtract the 402. This is February and March, and this is January. So how many more were sold in these months than in January? So 9 minus 2 is 7. 6 minus 0 is 6. 4 minus 4 is 0. So it'd be 67 more sweaters were sold in February and March than in January. Okay. All right, and you should have done these other two on your own. Okay, then on the back, we're going to do 21 and 23. 21 says, Brooklyn has 10 dolphin stickers. Jorge's stickers can be represented by 3 times 10. Which comparison statement describes the expression? Okay, so think of it. Brooklyn equals 10, right? Jorge is 3 times 10. Okay, so which one of these, can you see it okay? Which one of these comparison statements describes this information? Brooklyn has 10 more stickers than Jorge. Is that 10 more than what Jorge has? No, Jorge has a whole lot more. Jorge actually has what? 30 stickers. That's not it. Not 10 more. How about Jorge has 3 times as many stickers as Brooklyn? Well, 3 times 10, is that how many Brooklyn has? And he has 3 times more? That looks like it may be the right one, but we're going to double check the others just to make sure. Brooklyn has 3 more stickers than Jorge. Is it 10 plus, you know what I'm saying? Is it 7 plus 3 equals 10? No, she doesn't have 3 more than he does. He has 20 more than she does, right? Jorge has 3 fewer stickers than Brooklyn. No, he has 20 more stickers than Brooklyn. So the correct answer would be B. Okay, and 23 says, last week, Arabeth read 123 pages in her book. This week, she reads 136 pages. There are 575 pages in the book. So that's the total, isn't it? How many pages does she have left to read? Okay, so last week she read 123. This week she reads 136. There's 575 total pages. How many pages does she have left to read? So this was last week. This is this week. Now, I'm going to say now, last week. Last week is LW. So we need to figure out how much she's already read. So 3 plus 6 is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. 1 plus 1 is 2. 259 pages are already read. There's a total of 575 books. So we're going to figure out how many more she has left to read. So we're going to subtract 259. So we're going to subtract 5 minus 9. You can't do that. That's 6. This becomes a 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So she has 316 pages left to read in the book. Sorry about that announcement. I hope you could hear me over it. So, all right. So make sure you've done all the other problems in here. Take a picture of all 4 of these pages showing your work. Pages, well, let me see if I can get them right. Pages, where'd it go? I lost it. Here it is. 473, 474, 475, and 476. And attach it to this assignment. Thank you. Have a good day.